Welcome to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Melissa Devine alongside Jack Hirsch, and we're going to be talking about golf because for the first time in 466 days, Tiger Woods has returned to the golf world. He teed up at the Hero World Challenge this Thursday. He shot 73, 65, 70, and 76, finished 15th out of 17 golfers. So Jack, overall, how do you think his game looked?
You know, it actually looked pretty sharp considering the layoff. He actually led the field with 26 birdies. But he also led the field in double bogeys as well with 6, including 3 on the 18th hole. Overall, the swing looked really good. He was free. He didn't show any signs of injury, like the back injury that kept him out. And he's made some nice changes to kind of alleviate his back. And it just looked like he was free. He wasn't guarding a miss, and that's what led to the birdies. But there was obviously some rust. That's why we saw so many bogeys and double bogeys. But you know, it was nice to see him. You know, he led the tournament after 8 holes. He was 4 under through the first 8 holes of the tournament. Kind of shot 40 on the back 9 of his first round, leading to that 73. But then on Saturday, he turned the clock back, fired a beautiful 7 under 65, no bogeys. That's where we really saw the Tiger of old, and that was really, really fun to watch, and kind of sent social media up into a frenzy. I know that was really fun to watch.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate he only finished 15th overall, but I mean, like you said, he had some good moments there. The second round was his best round. He shot a 65. So what clicked for him in that second round?
Yeah, I mean, there weren't any mistakes. I mean, we've been saying for years, ever since that unfortunate scandal in 2009, where he just couldn't play a complete round of 18 holes anymore. It was really, he couldn't do it anymore. He would always start off really well or finish really well, but he couldn't get it together. That was the first round I have seen Tiger Woods play since 2009, where he played flawless golf start to finish. It's not his first bogey-free round from them, but he made no mistakes, and you could see on 16 that that round where he made a really nice 25-foot par save. That was the Tiger of old. We saw the fist pump. I mean, it got the crowd excited.
Yeah, so I mean, it might be old age for Tiger that he can't play a complete game anymore, but you never know. It might be because he was out. I mean, 500 days, about 500 days is a lot of days without playing golf. So what do you think this means for 2017 for Tiger Woods, his career in overall?
Well, so he finished 15th out of 17 players. And his best round, he was playing by himself because Justin Rose withdrew right before he teed off. So, I mean, it's interesting to see. He's 40. He's going to be 41 this month now. Only one player has ever won more than 3 has only won 3 majors since they turned 40 or older. So it'll be interesting to see if he can actually kind of turn back the clock a little and get to 4 majors. I don't think he'll do it. I think we've seen the last of him. He'll win a couple more PGA Tour events. He's got 79 now. He'll finish with at least 8 or more than 80 for sure. It's just interesting to see how he'll play. He'll play well this year. I mean, we saw a lot of good play with him shaking off the rust. So 2017 will definitely be a year to watch. Hey, and he could prove me wrong. I mean, he's been the best player by far up until 2009.
I mean, the experience might play a factor. A lot of fans are rooting for him. It's going to be a comeback for him, possibly in 2017. So that's definitely something to look out for. So that's our segment here on Penn State Sports Night. I'm Melissa Devine alongside Jack Hirsch. Welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Melissa Devine alongside Liana Rizzi. We're going to talk some Penn State hockey because this past weekend, Thursday night and Friday night, Penn State swept the Michigan Wolverines. This is a first because Penn State had an 0-5 losing streak against this team. This team was killer last year with that top line. The CCM line is called. It was Kyle Connor, JT Kampfner, and Tyler Mott. That top line was really killer for that team, but they lost that line. So Penn State, they had more offensive power coming into this season with 10 new freshmen, and they really played well against this Michigan team. They won 6-1 on Thursday night, 5-1 on
Thursday.
5-1 on Friday, 6-1 on Thursday. So what you see from them both nights being able to sweep the Wolverines?
I honestly think this team came out with a lot of heart. Our freshmen played their hearts out. Definitely, you know, Nikita Pavlicek, he had that huge check in the second period, and it was just like absolutely insane. You know, we had so many goals, you know. Andrew Sturtz has 13 goals on the season. He had 2 on Friday. You know, it's just he's really playing his heart out, and I really think they did a great job.
Yeah, and with these freshmen, there's 10 new freshmen on this team, and with Big Ten conference play starting, it's definitely a different atmosphere, but they proved against this Michigan team that they definitely have a lot of heart. They're confident in their play now. Do you think going into other conference teams playing up against Minnesota, who's also a good team in this Big Ten, Ohio State, do you think the freshmen are going to need to change anything going into conference play?
I don't know if they're going to have to change anything necessarily. I think they're just going to have to come out really hard, and they're going to have to play their hearts out just like the way they have been. You know, we have Ohio State coming up January 6th, one of our first weekends back, and, you know, they're ranked second in the Big Ten. We're ranked first in the Big Ten. You know, it's going to be a great matchup. I think we both have some really great players all around, and I think it's just going to be a really great game to see how we all pan out.
Yeah, Penn State hockey definitely looking up. They're ranked number 3 in the USCHO poll as of today. Ohio State, they're ranked 10. We play them on January 6th. Their record is 9-2-4. Penn State's is 13-1-1, so it could be a competitive game. A name to look out for is Nick Schickley. He has 13 goals, 19 points. He had an amazing season last year, and he's definitely a player to look for this season.
Absolutely.
What do you think Penn State has to do to beat this Ohio State team over break?
I think our defense just has to keep really tight all around. I think they need to just really keep focused on defending the entire, you know, each area of the ice, you know, blue line to blue line and back. But, you know, I think they just have to really keep their focus and focus that, you know, they are a great team and that they can pursue so much throughout the season.
Yeah, they're definitely a confident group. I think they're going to be confident going into this play against Ohio State. The freshmen are playing really well. Dennis Smirnoff, another name to look for Penn State. He has 10 goals on the season, leading the team in assists. So as a freshman, he's playing really well. You wouldn't expect it from a freshman like that.
No, absolutely
not.
not.
Peyton Jones, .92 save percentage. He's playing well. And for Ohio State, Matt Tompkins, he only has a .9 save percent and 2.6 goals against. And with the Penn State team that shoots a lot on net and has the highest and has the most goals that leads the nation, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how they play against this
Absolutely.
Ohio State
I
team.
think it's going to be a great game.
So that's it for this segment of Penn State Sports Night. I'm Melissa Devine alongside Liana Rizzi.
The New York Yankees signed veteran outfielder Matt Holliday to a one-year, $13 million deal. Holliday is entering his 14th MLB season and brings a heavy list of accolades to the Yankees. Among them are he is a 7-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger Award winner, and 2007 NLCS MVP. Holliday will likely serve as the Yankees' primary designated hitter while also providing right-handed outfield depth and a righty complement to first base to left-handed hitting Greg Bird. Holliday has spent the last 7+ seasons with the St. Louis Cardinals after 5 years with the Rockies and half a season in Oakland. He's a career .303 hitter with 295 home runs and 1,153 RBIs.
Hello and welcome back to Penn State Sports Night. I'm Jack Hirsch with Alyssa Devine and Liana Rizzi, and we're going to talk about the college football playoffs. Selection Sunday, it was just yesterday, and our top 4 teams in the college football are Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and Washington. There were 6 teams that could have made a case for the college football playoff. Alyssa, Liana, what did you guys think of how it all shook out? Penn State and Michigan didn't make it. What do you guys think?
Well, first of all, I don't think Michigan should have made it. I mean, they're also not they were a non-conference champ, just like Ohio State, and Ohio State definitely should have been the non-conference champ to make it over Michigan. But also, I think Penn State could have had a better case. A lot of people are saying they could have made it over Ohio State because of their head-to-head, and also the Ohio State didn't win the Big Ten title. Penn State won the Big Ten title over two top 10 teams, Ohio and Michigan. So they could have made a case, but I think Washington should not have made the top 4. I think Penn State should have made it over Washington just because Washington's strength of schedule, it was really weak. They beat the number 8 team. That was their best win. Penn State, they beat number 2 Ohio State and also number 6 Wisconsin. So that's one of the reasons why I thought Penn State should have made it. But the reason why they didn't was because of that Pitt loss and also the loss to Michigan. They lost by a good amount. So that's why the committee didn't put them in.
Absolutely. Obviously, Alabama is the powerhouse of NCAA football league. There's no doubt about it. So, them being the number 1 seed in the NCAA playoffs is 100% guaranteed. Clemson played a good game against Virginia Tech. We can't take it away from them. Virginia Tech did try to come back in the second half, and, they gave them a run for their money, but Clemson came up strong. And, I think as much as we would have loved to have seen Penn State in the NCAA playoffs, Washington is a strong team, but like Alyssa said, their schedule was a little bit weaker than ours. It's tough to say. The committee just didn't pull in our favor this year.
The thing was, Penn State, they won 9 straight. They had an unbelievable comeback season. That's just the Penn State story in general, I think, should have been enough. But, they're all about the money, and I don't know, it could be a reason why they weren't too high on Penn State.
Look, there are a lot of reasons to take Penn State. For example, we have the world's largest alumni association, so we would have traveled to the game. We would have made a lot of money, just as much as other teams would. But the fact of the matter is, I don't think we were one of the best 4 teams in the country.
But at this point, though?
Well, here's the thing.
That's what I think.
Here's the thing. Going into the conference championship game, Washington was number 4. And Washington handled a Colorado team, which I don't think should have been number 8.
No,
I don't think Colorado
so
should have been number 8. I don't think they should be number 10.
No.
I'm glad Penn State is playing USC and not Colorado in the Rose Bowl. I think that's the right move by the committee to move USC up to number 9, because they're, just like Penn State, they're one of the hottest teams in the country.
They won 8 straight.
9 straight.
No, Penn State won 9, they won 8 straight.
Yeah.
But Washington was 4, and they won convincingly against Colorado. Was Colorado the same team as Wisconsin? No. But Penn State didn't win convincingly against Wisconsin.
It was the 2 losses that got them. Washington only had 1 loss. Penn State had 2.
Yeah,
and they were big losses.
If Penn State does beat Pitt, I think we're in clearly over Washington.
Absolutely.
And I think Ohio State deserves to be in there too, because look, if you play Penn State and Ohio State on a neutral field.
Do you think Ohio State should be in?
Yes, I think Ohio State should be in, because look, if you put Penn State and Ohio State on a neutral field, that's a lot different. Look, Penn State won that game against Ohio State because it was
pretty lucky.
Because it was in Beaver Stadium.
But also,
I'm not saying it was a fluke. Look, Penn State's a great team. No one's going to deny that. They're certainly one of the top 6 teams in the college football. But
what I want to ask you is, if Ohio State was in the position of Penn State, that what Penn State was in, do you think they would have made it in? I think they might have, just because they're Ohio State, Urban Meyer, a lot of history with that Ohio State team too.
I agree with you, Alyssa. I think Ohio State would have been, if Ohio State was in our shoes, they would have 100% been in the NCAA playoffs.
Also, I think it might be a blessing in disguise. Penn State didn't make it in the playoffs. We would have had to play Alabama. They're a top team. Obviously, everyone knows they're the powerhouse, like you said, Liana. And last year, Michigan State played them. They got rocked in that game, and then this year they didn't have that great of a season. They're a young team like our team, and it might have been they might not have had a good season because of that game, and you never know. And Penn State, they're going to one of the most prestigious bowls, the Rose Bowl. There's nothing to complain about that. All the players are happy about it, and I know we are, and they're going to have another good season next year.
Look, the fact of the matter is this team started off 2-2, and you know what? I personally thought after the Temple loss, wow, Temple must be awful because they made us look good. And it turns
this year
out
we beat Temple though.
Are you talking about? I'm saying we made them look awful. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And you know what? It turns out Temple won their conference. Temple had a 10-win season. Who would have thought that Temple would have had 10 wins, and now they're going to a bowl game 2 years in a row?
But then again, their schedule is much weaker than anybody else.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we made Temple look really bad, and we thought we were really bad at that time. We were 2-2. After the Michigan loss.
A lot of people were putting Franklin on the hot seat. No one knew.
Who would have thought that a letdown would have been the Rose Bowl after a 2-2 season?
No one expected the Rose Bowl. A lot has to do with the new offense with Joe Moorhead, and then also Brent Pry, the defensive coordinator. We had a lot of injuries with the linebackers, and these 2 coaches, they really made a difference. And even Franklin, I had him on the hot seat, but he really proved me wrong. This is a young team he worked with, and what they have done, and with everything this program has been through, is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I think Joe Moorhead is certainly unheralded for his job with not only Saquon Barkley, but Trace McSorley and these receivers. Deshaun Hamilton, Saeed Blacknell had amazing games.
Wisconsin.
Had amazing games.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible. If somebody told me at the beginning of the season we would have been Big Ten champions, I would have thought them 100%, but pulled through.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're all going to be looking forward to this Rose Bowl berth coming up on January 2nd. That's all for us tonight on Penn State Sports Night. Be sure to catch us again, and good luck to Penn State in the Rose Bowl on January 2nd against USC.